pregnant waitress was struggling to get through her shift. Then Keanu Reeves walked in. What he did next left her in tears. Chapter 1. A night like any other. Samantha Lewis had worked as a waitress at La Lumiere, one of Los Angeles's most luxurious restaurants, for nearly 5 years. The upscale clientele, extravagant meals, and hefty tips made it one of the best places to work in the city's restaurant industry. But tonight, Samantha wasn't feeling her best. At 6 months pregnant, her feet ached, and the weight of carrying trays of expensive wine and gourmet dishes was becoming unbearable. She sighed, adjusting her uniform as she tried to push through. Rent was due, and she couldn't afford to take time off. Her manager, Mr. Calloway, was understanding to a point, but he had made it clear that everyone needed to pull their weight, pregnancy or not. As she passed by table 7, she caught a glimpse of a familiar face. Her breath hitched. Sitting there, casually dressed in a dark blazer and black jeans, was Keanu Reeves. The actor was known for his humility and kindness, but seeing him in person was still a shock. He wasn't surrounded by bodyguards or an entourage, just a couple of close friends, engaged in quiet conversation. Samantha took a deep breath, steadied herself, and walked over. Chapter 2. A Gentle Presence. Good evening, Mr. Reeves. Welcome to La Lumiere. Can I get you anything to drink to start? She asked, keeping her voice steady despite her nerves. Keanu looked up, his warm, dark eyes meeting hers. He smiled. Just water, please. And call me Keanu. His voice was calm, kind, nothing like the entitled celebrities she had served before. As she poured the water, Keanu's gaze flickered to her belly. How far along are you? He asked gently. 6 months, she replied, smiling despite her exhaustion. He nodded, thoughtful. That's wonderful. You must be excited. I am, she said, but the tiredness in her voice betrayed her. Keanu noticed. Are you okay? You look like you could use a break. Samantha hesitated. She didn't want to complain. Just a long shift, she said with a forced smile. Keanu studied her for a moment, then gave a small nod, as if filing the information away. Chapter 3. The Unexpected Gesture. As the night continued, Samantha kept serving Keanu's table, feeling a strange sense of comfort around him. He was polite, never demanding, and always thanked her each time she brought something over. Then, towards the end of his meal, something unexpected happened. As she set down the check, Keanu slipped a folded napkin toward her. For you, he said softly. Confused, she opened it, and her breath caught. Inside was a note, handwritten in careful script. No one should have to struggle while bringing new life into the world. Take care of yourself and your baby. And beneath the note? A check for $20,000. Tears welled in Samantha's eyes. I can't accept this, she stammered. Keanu smiled. You can. And you should. She shook her head. This is too much. You don't even know me. He shrugged. That doesn't matter. What matters is that you and your baby are okay. Chapter 4. A Kindness That Echoes. The next morning, Samantha woke up still in disbelief. The check was real. She had called the bank 3 times just to be sure. She went to work, intending to thank Keanu if he ever returned. But when she arrived, something even more shocking happened. Mr. Calloway called her into his office. You won't believe this, he said, shaking his head. Keanu Reeves called earlier. Samantha's heart skipped a beat. What? Why? He said he wanted to cover your salary for the next 6 months so you could take maternity leave. Samantha gasped. He did what? Mr. Calloway chuckled. Said no employee should have to choose between their health and their job. So, congratulations, you have fully paid maternity leave. Tears streamed down her face. She had barely known the man for a few hours, Yet he had changed her life completely. Chapter 5. Paying It Forward. Months later, after giving birth to a healthy baby girl named Hope, Samantha found herself reflecting on the kindness she had received. One evening, she returned to La Lumiere, not as a waitress, but as a guest. Keanu wasn't there that night, but she had left him a letter with the manager. Dear Keanu, there aren't enough words to thank you. Because of you, I was able to rest, focus on my baby, and bring her into this world without fear. You changed my life with a single act of kindness. Asterisk. I promise to pay it forward. Just like you taught me. She kept her promise. Years later, she opened a small cafe, where every pregnant employee got paid maternity leave, no exceptions. And every time someone asked why, she simply smiled and said, because a good man once taught me that kindness has no price. Epilogue. The Ripple Effect. Keanu Reeves never asked for recognition. He never spoke publicly about what he did for Samantha. But word of his kindness spread, inspiring others in Hollywood and beyond. Samantha's cafe became a symbol of generosity, proving that one good deed can change countless lives. And Keanu? He continued being exactly who he always was, a quiet force of goodness in a world that needed it. One act of kindness can change a life forever. If this story touched your heart, hit like to spread positivity, subscribe for more real-life inspiration, and share this with someone who needs to hear it today. Like for more inspiring stories. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Share to inspire others.